Oh, good morning, my brothers and sisters. It's episode 270 of Be With Me, and we're in a passage that talks about fruit. And the words that's actually used in the passage is that the Lord seeks fruit, or the vine dresser and vine owner seeks fruit. But actually, the passage is even a little bit stronger than that. I think I may even title this expecting fruit. So listen and see what you think as well. This is the parable of the barren fig tree in Luke chapter 13, four verses 6, 7, 8, and 9. And he told him this parable. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came seeking fruit on it and found none. And he said to the vine dresser, "Look, for 3 years now I have come seeking fruit," again, "on this fig tree, and I find none. Cut it down. Why should it use up the ground?" And he answered him, "Sir, let it alone this year also, until I dig around it and put on manure. Then if it should bear fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you can cut it down." So in our story, we have an owner of a vineyard who has planted a specific kind of tree, in this case, a fig tree. He's hired a guy to caretake it, and he obviously knows some things about it, knows some strategies, digging and manuring that would help it. But then the owner comes back and he seeks fruit. And not just sort of in a casual way, like, hey, I wonder if there's fruit. It's like, no, I expect there to be fruit. And without that fulfillment of that expectation, then there's a penalty and a cutting down. So there's a judger of this production. So I have a few observations. We are supposed to be fruitful, I think, in this spiritual context. We didn't plant ourselves. We're accountable to a master, if you will, an owner. In a big way, I think that would be analogous to God and the vine dresser of those he has put in charge of us spiritually. I think maybe like a pastor would be that person who's directly responsible over you and has been doing his best for you. So one of the big things here is that we're not our own. We didn't plant ourselves. We didn't make ourselves an apple tree or a fig tree or an orange tree or an hospitality tree. God has done that. Let's just talk about effort for a second. So we have something, some input, some effort, some agency that will produce fruit. I'm thinking of 1 Corinthians 3, 5, and 6, and this is where Paul says, "I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth." So I understand that there is this little dance that we do, that we have some effort and God brings the fruit. But that's not to say that passively we sit there and don't do anything. Remember, God is opposed to earning. God is not opposed to effort. Let me say that again. God is opposed to earning. God is not opposed to effort. So where is your place in the body? Let's ask that. So this concept is from Romans chapter 12 and the various giftedness. For we as one body have many members, and the members do not all have the same function. In other words, we're not all fig trees, we're not all orange trees. So we, though many, are one body in Christ and individually members of one another, having gifts that differ according to the grace given us. Let us use them. If prophecy, in proportion to our faith. If service, in our serving. The one who teaches, in his teaching. The one who exhorts, in his exhortation. The one who contributes, in generosity. The one who leads, with zeal. The one who does acts of mercy, with cheerfulness. So whatever the Lord has given you, whatever kind of fruit tree you are, he's expecting you to be working your hardest and using your efforts and doing it with zeal. One of the sobering things in this passage is the the limited time, timelessness, time. I'm saying it wrong. But there's a limited time for fruitfulness. There's a period that we're supposed to be fruitful. And in the passage here, he gets this extra grace year of a hyper accountable moment where the vine dresser says, hey, don't cut it down just yet. Let me do some extraordinary measures of manure and digging and put is on a special timetable. And there's going to be an assessment shortly after that. So maybe this is your hour. I mean, let's not take this for granted. Currently, we have a virus raging that is, suddenly taking people off the planet. So let's not dilly-dally here. And let's not presume on further patience that we have many, many years left. Remember what happened in Luke chapter 12 with the rich fool who said, I've got many years to lay up and relax, and that night his life was required of him. So I think the final point here is what effort can I bring to my part of the body, to my giftedness in the body? Obviously, if you're an orange tree, the Lord doesn't want you to produce figs, excuse me. So what is your gift? And if you don't know, find it. What is your time? Now is the time. And what effort can you do? What can I do to push my gift forward just a little bit on this particular day? That'd be my challenge for you. Remember Jonathan Edwards, when he had a spiritual thought, he would make a note of it and he would pin it to his coat so that thought would be front and center and prominent. So the prominent thought for today is, the background is that we're supposed to be fruitful. The Lord is expecting fruit. He's seeking fruit. And we have some effort. We have something to say about that. So let's use our efforts to be fruitful today. I'm curious on how this will turn out for you. See you tomorrow.